Hey, happy Monday. Freaking welcome to the, what is this, Success Champion Hot Seat? Is that what we call this thing now? I don't even know what that was. Success Champion Live, Success Champion Hot Seat, something. You're muted, Peyton. So,
Yeah, I know it.
pretty dynamic, quiet weekend for me, except for smashing the shit out of my finger with a hammer, building a damn bridge across the creek, or finishing up the bridge across the creek. Oh, ooh, it looks like Jessica's froze.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
So,
I was telling Bernie earlier, I am sunburnt to shit.
oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. We went to, let's see, over at the Speedway, over at the NASCAR Speedway, there was a car show. And I went up and down it with Scott and Keith and wrapped around. And then my brother showed up with my grandpa. And I was like, well, I'm not just going to let y'all walk around by yourself. So I tagged along with them and did the whole lap again. And yeah, I was there probably twice as long as I should have been because I am white. And
Wow.
now I am red. No in between. But
it's not that noticeable until you feel that difference. And then it's like, ooh.
The back of the neck.
Dude, you glow in the dark like I do. Jesus.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it was they were doing drift races or drift laps, which was super cool. That was
on
like
the Speedway?
Not on the Speedway. They had like the interior
inside
track.
Yeah.
And they were saying $100 to ride with them. I was like, I shouldn't. I'm gonna go do that. And I took off. I rode along with them, and that was insane. The way they just make it seem like it's nothing is awesome.
Yeah, I did the Richard Petty driving experience on that track, in the inside track with them as well. Yeah. And they took us in Lambos, Porsches, all these, I forget the other car I rode in, and you have a driver with you, you can drive a couple of the laps. And so I got to gun a Lambo around the track, which was awesome. But then they put you in with a professional driver. Dude, you want to talk about your asshole puckered for 2 minutes as they freaking whip around that damn track, flying balls. It was absolutely insane. And then I got in with this old guy. You could tell he'd been racing for his entire life. And he's like, just do everything I tell you to do exactly when I tell you to do it. And man, that dude had me driving so damn fast and turning corners and whipping around. He's like, punch it harder, brake, fucking turn. Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome. I gotta brag about the chapters though. We're running a own the room challenge inside of Success Champion Networking, and Hospitality Table is kicking everybody's ass. Their leadership team stepped up and kind of said, hold my beer and watch this shit. They are doing it well, crushing it with 68 points. The next closest chapter is National Selection at 41, Texas Business Exchange at 38, Team Canada at 28, and then MBI rounds it out at 21 points. But
Bernie is in the top 20?
Is Bernie in the top? Oh, he's 16. 16 in rankings. The top 4 people are all from Hospitality Table.
Serena's up there, isn't she?
Yeah. Oh, she's number 2. I'm sorry. She's number 2.
Yeah.
National Selection.
But the way we built it is so everyone has to work at it as a team.
Yeah.
If you go in it alone, you won't win this.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I missed everything. So can somebody fill me in?
Yeah, so we're doing a whole Own the Room contest where there's points rewarded on getting people registered, attended, and having them join SCN. And we're giving away some ridiculous prizes. So there's
inviting guests to SCN, that's the...
Yep, and then in Circle, there's places to post what action you've done, how to get the points, and everything.
Oh my God, it's self-reported. I suck at this.
Oh,
Peyton and Roger know I don't report anything, and if I reported my numbers for anything ever, our numbers would be so much higher.
So we track it for you. The thing is there are challenges that pop-up challenges. You never know when they're going to pop up. But if you can get your team on board to do those challenges, that's where the points come in. And that's what Hospitality's been doing is they've been taking the challenges and everyone's been participating, but that also reflects in your numbers of visitors and everything. So.
Yeah.
Okay. I like a challenge.
There we go. So we just heard it from her. Ashley just said she's going to kick everybody's ass. That's all. That's what I heard.
Yeah, show Paul up, Ashley. That's what we got to do.
That's right.
So this is fun. It's really cool to watch all the numbers, watch all the people participating. So it'll be fun to see how it turns out. But what we have 3 weeks left, 2 weeks left.
No, we've only done week 1, so 3 weeks left.
Weeks. So, all right. Well, Peyton, you can't let people in your chapter beat you. I'm just saying. That would be a sad day indeed. And Bernie, are you on the points list?
I don't even think I'm on the board right now.
No, you're not, Bernie.
Serena.
No, there is like I was doing it yesterday. He has like 1 point.
1 point. There you are, Bernie. You have 2 points. I see it now on the list. Crushing it. Crushing it.
I'm so glad I don't have to do that this year.
Yeah, not as brutal as the freaking March Madness contest.
Oh, that was insane.
Oh, that was tough to keep up with. So, all right, Peyton, let's roll that game footage.
So we've done this one fairly recently. So it's just a matter of asking questions that get us talking, get us woken up a little bit more. So let's just jump straight into it. Donnie, if you got to live in a movie, what movie would you choose?
Oh, Harry Potter, without a doubt. Or Lord of the Rings. One of the two.
Lord of the Rings. I thought for sure you were going to pick Lord of the Rings. Harry Potter being your first one out of your mouth is crazy.
That was too easy for him. He
made
a harder question.
I mean,
Bernie, what about you?
In almost any fantasy movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably have to say either Iron Man or Big Lebowski. I would
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Oh my god, that's so good. That's such a great choice.
Dude. Come on,
Oh my god, I
bro.
love it. I bought my dad. So I introduced the Big Lebowski to my dad years ago when it was like, and he didn't get it. Like he just didn't get it yet. And then one night he texted me out of the blue and he was like, "Oh my god, I get it. I get it now." And he thought it was so funny. So I bought him a t-shirt of the rug and it says "The Rug Tied the Room Together." And he wears it all the time.
Nice.
So funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know. When I first watched it, I was in college and they made me watch it for like one of my classes was like dissecting movies and taking them apart. So I was being very analytical and I was like, this movie sucks. This is terrible. But now I rewatch it. And I'm like, this movie's so stupid. It's funny. That's all it is. Okay. Ashley, you got a movie you'd live in for a day or live in for your life?
Dazed and Confused.
Good one. Good one.
You know what?
I don't know if I want to go back to high school, but if I was going to go back to high school, it would be with that crew.
All right.
I'd been the kid that threw the freaking bowling ball through the windshield. I know.
Yeah. What kind of superpower would you want for one day?
Oof.
Teleportation.
Teleport. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one, actually.
That's what I was going to say too, Jeff.
I want to fly. I know that.
As long as I can teleport my kids with me, so I don't have to drive them everywhere.
You're using the teleportation as a taxi cab instead of to get
Yes, exactly.
I mean, I think there's some people in my life, if I could teleport them away, I would just launch them places.
Oh my god.
I've always been a fan of super speed. I feel like there's a lot that can be done with super speed.
That's called cocaine, Peyton.
What?
You know what I would not want to do? I would not want to read anyone's mind.
No, and I don't want to know what people are thinking because there's some scary
exactly.
Yeah.
I'll pass on that. My intuition's good enough the way it is.
See, I think I want something like almost Matrix style where I could just absorb all the information I immediately need in a given situation.
Oh.
Right? Not necessarily even super intelligence, but like super learning ability.
Okay.
I like that.
My brain just explodes with that. I think too much already.
Yeah. Jess's superpower is overthinking. That's her superpower.
Oh,
there's this reason I have a sign.
I feel you on that.
So I'm pretty sure on this next one, Donnie has an answer, but I'm curious about everyone else. Do you have a zombie apocalypse plan?
Yes.
No, I do not.
Yes.
Mine is go to Donnie's farm.
Yeah,
Walk up
that's
the
where
creek, and that's my plan.
Yep.
I got a
Everybody's
go
coming
bag
here.
and 10,000 rounds stashed. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go.
Go bag.
Uh,
Yeah. As
Yeah.
long as I'm in Texas, I kind of have a plan. But in the RV, if we're out and about, I guess my plan is just drive back to Texas.
dodging zombies.
Uh-huh.
I kind of want that compound though.
That
I
one's
know.
sweet.
Oh, I could get behind that. We need to make the creek just bend around the house. So we just make a moat.
Yeah.
I can see my husband would look at that picture and go, I could make at least 4 golf holes on that island.
I can make a
All right.
couple of really nice shooting ranges on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Here, we'll do one more. And I'm curious, what was everyone's first job?
Busboy at a disgusting catfish restaurant.
Mm.
15 years old. I mean, I did it through hay and stuff a lot younger than that, but the first like paycheck job, boy, at a restaurant.
Bernie?
Well, my first paycheck job was working at a pizzeria, and I absolutely loved it. I got to take home pizzas every freaking day. It was amazing.
Yeah, that makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Jess, what about you?
So paycheck wise would be a small office supply store in downtown McKinney that was run by Miss Rushoff, and you did not want to mess with Miss Rushoff. She was like an 80-year-old lady that walked around and you knew when she entered the room.
Love
Nice.
it.
ABC?
My first paycheck job was for the courthouse for the child support division because my dad's best friend was the prosecutor. And so I just filed papers in the basement of the courthouse.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
My second job was Taco Bell, and I worked the drive-through and wore a Bullwinkle hat with the horns and everything. That really
Oh my
happened.
God, Donnie. Okay, so wait, my stepson works at Taco Bell and I'll have to find it and give it to you guys, but he has a TikTok because he's the drive-through guy, like the funny drive-through guy at this Taco Bell in this small town in Indiana where he works. And he doesn't wear a Bullwinkle hat, but he does like dances and stuff at the drive-through window and all kinds of stuff like that. It's hilarious.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I love it. I said this to people individually, but maybe never said it in this room. One of my favorite things in life so far was finding out that my kid is a good employee. Like that he shows up for work and that he does his job and that he, you know, when he leaves his shift, he's done what he's supposed to do and been a good kid, you know. That was very rewarding.
It'd be nice if we get Peyton to do that. I mean, so good on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. My boss is an asshole, so
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, let's go make fun of Ashley.
Yeah, let's.
This is Ashley Beck Cuellar, building and leading high-performing sales teams, whether through coaching, fractional leadership, or as a hands-on sales leader. Modern sales teams need to sell like actual humans. No more boiler room bros or I hope you find this well humanity. Stand out by knowing your story. Master your mindset so that you can sell confidently and turn connections into clients without feeling gross about it. And today, Ashley gets the hot seat with the Success Champions team.
Okay, that pink outfit, was that like an Oompa Loompa outfit? What was that?
I don't know. Which one was it? Pink outfit? Which one?
Yeah, like you're like in a tank top onesie is what it looks like.
Oh. It is the most comfortable. It's like it is a onesie basically. It's an adult onesie, and I have it in 3 colors.
That's awesome.
And yes, that one is a very like Barney purple looking color. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Thank you. Yeah, that's the one.
It's so comfortable. I love it. Yes, I have that in purple, black, and army green. Thank you very much.
That's like an urban overalls almost. So too funny. Man, I gotta tell you, it's been fun getting to know you, Ash. We haven't really known each other all that long, probably a little over a year now. Met because of LinkedIn, like you do. And it's been fun watching your story unfold and then the things you're doing, and especially since you come from such a crappy industry. I mean, since you come from the auto industry. and all the things you're doing now. So this should be a lot of fun. So tell us a little bit about you and then how we can make fun. I mean, help you.
Yeah, sure. Well, so for the people that don't know, 17 years in the auto industry doing marketing for direct mail marketing for car dealerships, and then kind of turned into agency life over there with social marketing and all kinds of other things. Anyway, left that. For the last year, I have been building on my own. And it has been fun, and it has been an experience. Lots of things have happened that I didn't expect. Some shit that I did expect, some shit that I've manifested. But where we are right now, so
Is
Mr.
teaching your
Neat-
daughter yoga on LinkedIn.
Yes, exactly. That's where I'm stopping there. I know that niche down is the thing, but I am a true believer right now. I am not in the place to completely niche down. I am figuring the niche out as I go. And I had an opportunity to speak in front of a room full of business brokers and took the opportunity, said yes to it, even though it wasn't really my wheelhouse. It was talking about AI and ChatGPT and all this kind of stuff, which I say it's not my wheelhouse, but it's because we live in this bubble that we all use these things, and we don't realize that outside the bubble, nobody does.
Yep.
And so if you put me in a room with 30 people who have never used ChatGPT before, 100% I'm an
You look like a
expert.
rock star.
All day blowing their mind for 2 hours, right?
Well,
So that's what happened. And it was wonderful. And they're a great group of guys and 2 women. And a bunch of them want to hire me for consulting now. And I want to make sure that I capitalize on this opportunity, and not just this opportunity with these people, but what these people look like. And if there are more people that look like them that can use my services, I want to make sure that I'm finding those people. And I have a pretty good idea around that. Where I'm stuck is I have always sold a product. Right. And so consulting is like, right? Like it's magic. And I don't know how to price offers around that really. I'm kind of getting there. Like my head is there a little bit, but I would just love some conversation around what that has looked like when you all have either done it or purchased consulting or done other things, like what those things have looked like, so that I can make sure that I provide value and provide something that makes sense.
So I sold commercial printing for 7 years. So I did a ton of direct mail.
Yeah.
I never saw it as a product. So walk me through how direct mail is a product and how it differs from
Well,
what you're doing
okay, because the way I don't know how you sold it, but the way I sold it was it's 50 cents a mailer for 50,000 mailers. It's pretty
Right.
easy for me to figure out what that price looks like.
You had more consistent things. We printed all kinds of different stuff. So I had to go through an estimator and such. I couldn't just give somebody a quote by standing there looking at them.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I had to take it back and somebody had to estimate, give me a price back.
I mean, I sold 3 main products that I could price pretty much off the cuff.
Okay.
The rest of the stuff I didn't have to get estimated. But to me, that like, I don't know, it was like I had a way to be like, there are this many of them and this is how much they cost. So this is what your price is. And this feels a little bit more like, I don't know.
I think
Go
if you take it and you think, okay, your direct mail, there was a system and process to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What system and process, what is the tool you're going to use to sell your consulting services? Right now, it might not be defined because it's all new to you. But eventually you'll start seeing, hey, we take them through this step. What is their journey they're going to take with you? And what is the end goal with them that you want to get them to? And then once you have that, it'll be a lot easier to come up with a price.
Okay.
And
I feel like, go ahead.
no, I would also think when you say people wanted to hire you, what do they want to hire you for?
Right? Fucking great question. Before I was even done, before I was even off the stage, one homie had my LinkedIn profile pulled up and was like, so is LinkedIn how I get a hold of you to do business with you? And I was like, yep. So far it has looked like this. One of the guys came up to me while I was still there and showed me a picture of a scan of a printout. I mean, it was like data that he needed to have reformatted and put into a spreadsheet, and had like 60 of them sitting around, but had never done the project because it felt too big in his head. And I was like, oh, I can use ChatGPT to do that for you really quickly. And he was like, really? And so I took 1 year of it, like 20 of them, and threw it into a spreadsheet in a few hours. It took me a minute to reformat it the first time, but now that I have the thread and now that I have the format figured out, it won't take me any time at all.
How many of these calls have you jumped on to see what they actually want?
Not very many. Only one so far. Well, 2, because Ryan sent me all the data. And so but I don't know what he wants to do with that data. And that is what comes next, right? So like I can create this easy thread for you to be able to aggregate your data and get it into a spreadsheet that you can use. But then I don't know what that guy wants after that. And then there's like, I have 3 appointments set up this week and next, but 1 this week and 2 next week.
So my question is, do you want to do a deliverable or do you want to teach them how to do a deliverable? Because you doing a spreadsheet, that's more creating a job for yourself, which you're going to have to repeat.
I want to teach them to do it. So what my thought with that one is, I've started this situation and he has an assistant or something. And then I can teach the other person how to do it so that they can handle it themselves, because I don't need to manage his data.
Right.
But there is then some uses to his data as far as business development goes. Once he starts looking at it and seeing where numbers land, there are conversations to have around that. The other conversation that I have already had is more like, here are projects that we want to knock out, and can you help us figure out how to knock them out in the most efficient way? And here are 3 business development goals that we have, and how can you help us get to those goals? And that one to me feels more like okay, let's sign a 6-month contract with a X $1,000 a month retainer, and you have a 1-hour phone call with me per week. And I don't know.
Do these people have admin assistants?
Some of them do, some of them don't. So it's kind of odd. They are like they're in this association. That's the group that I spoke to, that they're members of this association. But some of them are a one-man show, and they're in their brokerage. Their brokerage is just them. And then some of them have this like huge business that has 50 employees. Not huge, but you know what I mean? Like compared to the one-man show. So some of them do, some of them do not. That's why it's kind of all over the board. Like I could be doing all kinds of it.
So Ashley, I think that there's a couple of ways that you can go about this, kind of to the same tune as Allison Simmons has kind of gone, right? Like you can create a coaching type program, an hour a week, an hour a month, whatever it is, right? Charge X amount of dollars for it. But then you can also do larger teaching sessions like with the association, right? You can do 25 people for a, $5,000 or $10,000, speaking appearance type situation.
Yeah.
Where you give them 4 or 5 very specific deliverables that they take back, and try to apply on their own. But the market for this, because as you said, we play in this space pretty regularly. Yeah. The general population, AI is still all very, very new and scary. And like,
I know,
if they see somebody who knows even a little bit more than them, they're like, ooh, I want to talk to you.
I know, but then Bernie, here's my thing about that. I love that. And let me just go ahead and like make my head huge. I am smart and I do try to stay ahead of things. And so but I'm also looking at this as, am I just cash grabbing or am I really providing value? I just want to make sure I'm really providing
yes
value.
And yes. Yes and yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say yes and yes?
Yes. You are cash grabbing. I go back to just on that thought process, and we'll keep going back to helping you, is I watched, and I wish I could remember their names to give them props. But when NFTs became a big thing, first really seen, I watched 2 people, a guy and a gal, launch a podcast called NFT for Dummies. And they had no idea what an NFT was. And this podcast went to hundreds of thousands of downloads literally in like a week. Because it was such a hot button thing, and all they were doing is teaching what they were being self-taught and bringing experts on NFTs, and it took off, and they sold that thing for a good chunk of money. The show, I believe, is still out there. So yes, you are cash grabbing. Yes, you are also providing value. There's nothing wrong with that combination, because it's not like you're trying to take advantage of people. You're educating and helping people do the things they want to do. So don't fret over a cash grab and an opportunity like this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, go, Jess.
What is your core business offer right now?
So I think at this point, it's okay to be a business whore, meaning try all the things until you figure out what the fuck you actually want to do.
Right. Which is what I'm doing. So Jess, to your point, right now I am coaching there's one sales team that I'm coaching monthly. And so that's a different offer. That's like a once a month thing that they pay. And there are these 10 sessions that I do with them, and it's, whatever. And then I have these seminars that I've been doing. And then I have this business development consulting that I've been doing. I mean, it's just like all over the place. That's the problem. But that's how I am. And so
what do you enjoy doing?
All of it. That's the problem.
It sounds like it's centered around two things: AI and sales.
It is. That's what. So in the big picture of things, I was actually pleasantly surprised with a sentence that came out of some brainstorming for my little ridiculous website that I threw together by myself. That I talk a lot about mindset and soft skills in sales, and less about the tactics and strategery. And I talk about using AI to, help yourself with business development and help yourself with other things that you don't quite understand. Those are the two things that I probably talk about most often. Right. So, but I use them together often as well. Like most of the conversations that I end up entering into with other people where they're wanting to use my brain is just me coming up with ideas. And they're like, holy shit, that's a great idea, and then it changes the course of what they're doing with that whole program. But I mean.
So why don't you create a program within your already existing program of sales training and business development that uses AI to analyze the data and push your sales team forward?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
But
some of the times there's no sales team, Jess. That's the thing. And I do like to work with a sales team, but I'm doing a whole lot of let what comes my way come my way right now, like I said. And it's not sales teams.
But it is. It's just a single person that is the sales team.
Right. True. And small, 1-2 person. Yeah. Agree. Okay. Agree.
What don't you want to do?
And
the crowd went wild.
I know. What I don't want to do is I don't want to be tied down to anything is what I don't want.
Okay. Well, that's a good place to start. So anything that requires you to do repetitious work, not consulting, difference. Anything that requires repetitious work is an automatic no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That starts to set some sort of boundaries of take these spreadsheet things. You want to position it that you're not doing the spreadsheet. You may build the original framework, but then you have to teach them how to do it. You need to figure out how would you price it as such in that regard. So
right.
Is it a one-time project where you're setting it up and giving it back to them with potential ongoing phone rescue calls or something?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, that's what that is. I don't want to be. I am not like a data aggregator. That's not, I'm not going to take care of your data forever. I do enjoy figuring it out and then being able to give it back to you ready to go so that it's figured out and you can use it and it has value.
Have you ever been diagnosed with ADHD?
Yes, friend, when I was 13. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm one of the girls in the 90s that they were like, okay, this girl is out there.
Right. Because this is classic ADHD, just behavior.
No, I know.
Because we don't like being focused on one thing for very long periods of time.
True.
Yeah.
True. Which is why this works for me though, because I can be kind of all over the place. I guess I just am
put Woody's comment up.
So I
want a position without the work. Right.
Yeah, I know.
100%.
Sign me up.
No, that's the thing is I do love putting the work in and I love having the conversations. And right now, on Friday, I had lunch with a guy who's the CEO of a community here in Indianapolis. I mean, it's nationwide, but was started here in Indianapolis, and it's lots of tech startups and VC people and investors, things like that. And he does these quarterly summits, and he has not had the time. It's like he has one other employee. It's like you and Jess, okay? And they're doing this thing, and he's not gotten sponsorships. He hasn't taken the time really to get sponsorships for these quarterly events. And so he's asking me to go around to some of like locally here in some of the businesses. And I have energy around that. Like I like doing that, and he's going to pay me well to do it. And so
hold on, note to self. Ashley can do sponsorship.
I'm writing the exact same thing down over here.
That's all.
You
I
just
heard. I
signed
don't know
yourself
what
up
you
for
said.
something there, Ashley.
well, it's just like as I'm sitting there talking to him and brainstorming with him and giving him these ideas for what his project that because he's talking about like he's just got a lot of things going on there, like increasing prices, changing the model, blah blah blah, all these things. And the sponsorship thing is something that fell off, and I immediately was like, oh, I can think of a bunch of people who would be good, who should sponsor, to get in a room full of those people to be able to talk to them. You know what I mean? And so, but that gave me a ton of energy to be like all around that. But then it leaves me with no offer, is what I'm saying. My offer is just like, hi, I'm Ashley. That does not work.
What if you had the ability to say yes, but you put a membership, or sorry, email just came an hourly rate. You just said, I can do this, but my rate is X.
Yeah.
Right. And I can dedicate X amount of hours towards this project. Right.
Yeah.
So now you could look at this thing like the sponsorship, or you look at, this AI stuff, and you go, okay, I estimate this is going to take me 10 hours. If I'm $250 an hour, or whatever it is, cool. That's $2,500 to do that project.
Yeah. I think that's probably a good way to look at it, because what I haven't done yet is said, okay, if I take on this person, this person, this person, and this person, that equals this many hours. And that's my 40 hours a week or whatever it is, which Lord only knows. If I only worked 40 hours a week right now, holy shit. But that would maybe help me break it down more and like back into it kind of.
Where do you want to grow your business?
What do you mean?
Like, do you want to have people under you, or do you want to work more in a fractional space one-on-one with people?
No, I am not one of those people that wants to like scale giant huge, at least not in my mind right now. Like in my mind right now, I just want it to be me taking care of my clients.
Okay. I'm going to put this out here. I don't know if it's going to help or apply, but someone once told me when I was trying to figure something out was that a niche doesn't have to be the person you work with, but it can be how you work with them.
Right.
Because
Totally.
yeah.
Totally.
I went through a stage with websites where I was like, I don't want to focus down, because I'd miss all the interesting clients if I did focus down. And to
me, I always tell people, I mean, I don't know how Donnie ended up being like my great quote in life for this, but that your niche is not really for you. It's for people to refer you. And that's what that's the part that I still haven't figured out. Because I don't like.
I think the idea though of AI in sales does give you a niche.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of people that are positioning themselves that way. You have your AI people, like I think of Allison a lot now when I think of AI, right? You got your salespeople.
Allison this week.
Nice. And you got your salespeople, which I think of, your Tim Berries, your David Solomon, these type of guys out there. But I don't have anybody in my head right now that's locked in for AI and sales as like a combo package deal.
Okay.
I
like that. And I changed my headline to include some stuff like that. But I mean, just if we're being real, like I let the head trash get to me, because I participate on this platform a lot. And I made a post about it last week. The consumption is starting to get to me a little bit. And it's like, I need to keep my head straight about the fact that there is value, and not listen to some of the other, like you just read too much sometimes. And then of course you're going to read posts that go against what your belief is or how you feel about something, and then you let that get in your head. And so while there are so many people who are into it and want to know more, there are also a lot of people trash talking and being like, okay, cool, the new AI consultant on the block is blah, blah, blah. You know?
But I'm okay with that, right? So that's just
Right,
noise.
I work on that all day.
Right. The consumption side of things, for me, what I've found, and this may not work for everybody, but I only interact with 10 to 12 profiles. That's it. I'm not going out. If I do go out, it's because I'm looking for funny content like Harry Potter or random things I can go talk on. I refuse to consume business, sales, any other knowledge around that arena. Because I know how much it impacts. That's why I don't read business books or anything anymore, because as soon as I read something, that becomes the next greatest thing. So I have to be very, very careful about the input that comes in, because Jess will tell you, I'll get excited about one thing and all of a sudden that's like the next greatest thing we're going to do in the business.
Oh so, God. Donnie, I just posted on Instagram yesterday a thing that said one of my worst ADHD traits is that I'll start cleaning out my Google Drive, and then I'll find a course that I want to buy and a new this that I want to start, and I'll have a business started and 3 courses taken before the day is done.
Yeah.
So you know the easiest way to get past that head trash, is to go sell it.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, it's the easiest way to get to, hey, I'm validating that what I'm putting out into the world is something good and people need to use it. And that completely gets you to start ignoring all the other things that are coming to you through LinkedIn, through social media, because now you have the revenue and the numbers to back that. You know what you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's like it's getting out of this space sometimes that needs to happen, because that whole, like, we all know all the things, but as soon as I get outside this box and start talking about it, people are like, what? You did what? Like, one of my girlfriends, I literally only taught her how to like create a meal plan and make a grocery list with it. But she works for the new Noblesville Youth Assistance, and they're bringing me in to talk to some of their parents about how they can potentially use it, you know, like to organize their lives and to like help them. So it's like there's so much that can be done and so much that we know that I forget that other people don't know, because we all know it in here. And I spend time with y'all in here.
You know, so I don't know, maybe this will help. I never, ever, ever wanted networking to be my business. And the main reason was I saw all the people that were teaching and talking about networking were absolute fucking morons. And the shit they were teaching was so bad. I'm like, I don't want to be associated with those people. So I wouldn't talk about networking for the longest time, because I thought I was automatically getting put into those type of people. And the people that were teaching networking were just a bunch of broke assholes that didn't know how to sell. And so I stayed away from it until Elizabeth looked at me and she goes, hey, dumbass, why don't you go change how the world networks?
Right.
Why don't you fix everything about networking?
Right. And that's what I try to think, Donnie, because I look at the way people sell and the way people coach selling, and I'm like, ugh, that's so bad. Like, you keep perpetuating the exact same narrative. And so I try to keep that in mind, that like, I'm going out there to break shit, right? To change it and make it different. And so, and I know I work on all this mindset stuff all the time.
Sounds like you just need to do more yoga. That's what I'm.
I know. Oh my God. For real. Been a week. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It just feels like this has been good, actually, because when I hear you guys also say that what I believe to be true is true, it helps. You know, like there are people outside our bubble that need our expertise. Mm-hmm. And as somebody else just said to me the other day too, like, one of the hardest things about what all of us do as solopreneurs or entrepreneurs is getting the knowledge that we have in our brains out in a usable fashion.
So something that I've been doing more and more of is talking to Ember, which is my Chat GPT's name, out loud
right now.
Right. Okay. And so I will break open my Chat GPT and literally have a conversation and ask Ember to grill the shit out of me about certain topics, about ideas and the likes. And Jess does this with me too. Jess will sit down and she'll fucking interview me. She goes, okay, let's talk about BABS, Badass Business Summit. And she'll just start grilling me on shit just to help me get the crap out of my freaking head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband makes fun of me.
What?
My husband makes fun of me for having a conversation with a computer.
So Elizabeth does too. She's like,
Actually,
who are you talking to?
I have taught Eric to use ChatGPT, and he's in procurement. And he texted me last week and was like, this feels like I'm cheating at my job. And I was like, but the thing is, you're not cheating at all.
So
you're just being efficient.
Is the thing that you do is you bring more revenue into companies and people's lives through AI.
Absolutely.
You're essentially doing it through sales. I mean, even when you were talking about the mom and the grocery lists, oh my gosh, you're giving her back time in her life to go do other stuff, to go sell more and do all this crazy stuff. So,
that's true. Oh, I like that. That's good. That's fun.
She's over here dancing and shit.
I know.
You kind of look like the gopher off of Caddyshack, just saying with that move, but
I know. Well, I get it. I mean, so I'm shiny. Sarah posted today about shiny penny syndrome, and like I have that bad. Like I see something and I'm like, "Ooh, that looks fun. I want to go do that." Oh, that sounds fun. I'll do that. But this seminar in particular was something that felt so outside my wheelhouse when I said yes to it. But it was one of those things that I'm like, I will say yes and I will build it. I have 6 months to figure this out. And that's kind of just how I operate. I'm like, I know I can do this. I know I can nail this. And so I built it out. And by the time I had figured out what the room was really going to look like when I got there and had talked to some other people that kind of look like that, AKA my dad, and realized how little my dad knew, I knew that I was going to be able to blow most of their minds. And I also know from Donnie, when you walk into the room, or maybe it was Stevie, that like 20% of those people don't really care anyway. So if 20% of the people know ChatGPT already when I walk in the room, then they don't care. But the other 80% are going to get value or whatever. And I got to, chat with them the evening before. But after the seminar, I was like, this is so valuable. Like they all walked away. They already hired me for their next meeting. The one dude emailed me and was like, that was the most engaging speech that we've had in, I can't even tell you how long. So it's like, I know that can work other places too. So let's go to that next. So if I want to continue to do this, like find associations to speak to that look like this one that I was just in, that could use this, brokerages, associations of brokerages is what that looks like. And so
when you say association of brokerages, what kind of brokerages?
So these particularly were business brokers who broker dental practices. Okay. And so I used ChatGPT to kind of make a hit list for this, but I want to see if you guys think I'm on the right track here. I looked for brokerages that do medical practices and brokerages that do law practices and things like that. Now, those all look a little bit different, but I felt like they were still kind of in that same vein. There is one other like Maine dental brokerage association one. And I met one of the bankers when I was at the seminar and he was like, oh my God, the other brokerage would love you. The other association would love you. They're a little bit younger. I'll introduce you. So I got an introduction to that group already, but it's like, so what this whole thing is about is what I'm trying to figure out is when I get in front of these people and I blow their minds for 2 hours with silly ChatGPT, things that seem silly to me on ChatGPT, how do I then make more money in individually consulting them? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. But I kind of think that
I don't know if this is the right answer, but figure out what you need to make for the year. Like, what's that revenue? Mm-hmm. Divide it by 40 hours. Yeah, divide it by 40 hours a week and see if you come up with an hourly number.
Yeah, that's what I was saying there when we were talking about it before, is what I need to do that I haven't done yet is say, okay, this is what I want to end the year with. This is how many 40-hour weeks there are. This is how I'm going to figure that out.
And then I think you're on the right path by going after the other associations. Yeah. But I would also go talk to any other business brokers. There's 4 or 5 of them even inside of SCN, and say, where else are you hanging out? Right.
Okay.
One of Stevie's biggest tricks is at the end, ask what other stages can I go on? And this works perfectly. I went into FANG, which is Finance Executives Networking Group, and we were talking manufacturing. 2 of those people I jumped on a call with afterwards, and they offered me stages to continue on speaking. And so I have one coming up, maybe booked in Oklahoma, and one in North Carolina. So
Love it. Okay, I'll remember that then. October is the next time that I go to one of their meetings to like speak in front of them. And so I will remember.
Yeah, Stevie does a really cool card, and the
Oh, I
card
remember that.
yeah, she does the accountability card. So, if you would like to be held accountable for something, I will send you a message in a week. And one of the things on the questions on there, they put their accountability, and then she's got it set to where
I
she'll
love
send an
that.
email. And then one of the things on the back is, how else can I potentially help you? Do you know any other places I should be speaking? And she gets a lot of people to say, oh, you should speak here.
I love that. And that's on the back of the card, right?
Yeah. And it's just a little postcard she hands out. I'll see.
I
If
remember
can
her telling us about that, and I'm sure
Yeah.
I have notes about it in my other notebook from last year, but
yeah, I have a copy of it, but like even the accountability, you don't have to write that question out. What you do is you have your general information. Hey, give me your name, your email. Do you have a stage that I can speak on later? There's a 4th question, but she doesn't focus on the front. What she says is, if you guys can help me out, flip the card over. And what is your biggest takeaway? So I can improve this. Or she goes the accountability route of,
okay.
Hey, tell me what the accountability. So she doesn't even write it. She kind of briefly goes over the front.
saves her some money. She has a one-sided freaking postcard.
Yeah. Because people are going naturally fill out that postcard if they fill out the back. So once they flip it over, she just vocally tells them the question and has them write it down.
Okay. I got you. I like that.
I like the takeaway better than the accountability. Then I don't have to do anything with it. Right. Right. I know me, and unless I have somebody else doing it for me, I suck at follow-up. So I'm going to do as minimally invasive as possible. So.
Okay. I like that. This is good. I tried to talk to one of the guys was like, how can I help you? Like, what can I be doing to help you? And I explained to him the people that I would want to be introduced to. And he was like, I really only know dentists. And I'm like, but no, you don't. Why do you think that way?
Everybody always thinks
that. Yeah. And I know. And that's why I'm like, but think about the other people that you talk to on a daily basis.
But they don't typically talk business. That's the problem. So if you take them out of their environment of the dentist, they don't look at the people that they're at baseball practice with their kids at and the likes, because it's not a business environment and they don't have business conversations. So it doesn't naturally translate that this is somebody else. Oh, actually, I do know somebody that does X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Because it's out of the normal realm of, business discussions.
Yeah.
Have you looked up any other brokerages on LinkedIn itself and just associations?
Only the other dental one that the guy sent me to try to find those people. And I started building like a lead list on Sales Navigator too of people that look like their ICP.
Print Brokerage and Buyers Association.
Print Brokerage?
Printing Brokerage and Buyers Association International. It's a group on LinkedIn. It's got 778 members in it.
You also have to look at the people around those people. So business brokerage, you have the CPAs, you have the bankers, you have that whole finance section that supports the business brokers to get in. So what doors can you open there as well?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So Brokerage Association has about 1,500 results on LinkedIn.
Okay. Just the words Brokerage Association?
Yep. Now there's some weird things. There's like some realty stuff in there, but there seems to be some pretty good stuff in there.
Well, and also, so one of my friends, I posted after the seminar, I posted something about, I don't even remember what the post was, but one of my husband's best friends who's a real estate agent saw it. And he texted me and was like, I saw your post about the brokers. Do you think that this ChatGPT stuff could help my business? And I was like, oh, absolutely. And so I'm getting together with him this Friday to talk to him, but maybe
is he a realtor or is he a broker?
He's a realtor.
So tell him you need to meet his brokers.
Oh, okay.
Because the brokers will pay to bring in speakers.
Okay.
Right.
Duh. Why wouldn't I think of that?
Because we're always in our businesses and not able to step outside and look at it from the outside. M&A peeps, yeah, it's a good place to be. Mergers and acquisitions.
Yeah. So like that looks like attorneys, right?
No,
Because-
mergers and acquisitions, it may involve attorneys, but there's companies that do nothing but handle M&As.
Yeah, it's exit strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
And well, exit strategy is not M&A. That's a portion of it. So exit planners would be another group to go talk to.
Yep.
Then you start getting into private equity and all that stuff.
See, there's just so many places I could go with this, right? I mean,
the
abundance is clear.
Right. Yeah. And that's what makes it such a good thing is you have a lot of opportunities. You don't have to niche into brokerages, right?
Yeah.
It could be associations as a whole. It's just one thing you're playing off of, which can lead into a lot different worlds. I think one thing that held me back when I first got into sales training was selling printing, because printing, I had a very select lane of industries that I was working with, right? I needed mainly manufacturers that had a lot of SKUs, because a lot of SKUs means lots of printing. And so then going into sales training, where sky was a limit. If you had a sales team, we could teach. And it was hard to think about who I should go after. It almost got overwhelming because there was such a big opportunity.
Right. That's kind of like, I need to like just baby step away from where I am a little bit at a time and not try to take the whole thing all at once.
Yeah. And I think the natural outcome of that's going to be, you're going to find yourself down a lane and be like, oh, I'm the absolute world's greatest expert on X.
And that's why I'm trying to just go with it and not like, because I think the same thing. Like I think as long as I keep saying yes and moving forward, that eventually it will end up and it'll be like, oh, voila, that's what it was all along.
Yep. Say again, Bernie. Sorry.
I just said, yep, you'll find the thread.
Yep.
No. It's what happened with me in networking is somehow networking just kept popping up and popping up and popping up and popping up. And finally it was almost like, okay, universe, I fucking hear you.
Yeah.
And pushed all the chips on the table.
Yep. Well, I also think that one of the things too is that when people hear the word sales, there's just this different thing that happens in their head. And
nobody ever wants to hug a sales trainer when they walk in a room.
Right. And what I want people to understand is that it is revenue. That is what I'm good at helping you with, not just sales, because sales sounds and feels icky. Growing your revenue. That is what I help with. Right.
Well, maybe that's the thing. Instead of AI in sales, it's AI in revenue.
Yeah, maybe so.
Okay. Because I do agree. Sales does get an extremely bad rap. Like the number of people that would flinch when I walked in and said I was a sales trainer. So I had to learn to own it, and lean into it because nobody wants to hug a sales trainer.
Well, but there's reasons for that, Donnie. And I have a post coming about a sales person who's trying to sell to coaches in my DMs that I was like, that sales tactic right fucking there is why everybody is sick of sales and why everybody hates sales. And you could have very easily asked an emotionally intelligent question to start a conversation and kept the relationship going with me. And instead you chose to use a grimy ass sales tactic. And now we are never going to speak again. And you have been blocked. You know what I mean? It's just the reality. Like, be a good person, be a good human. Don't be a dick.
Do you follow Dale Dupree at all?
I love Dale Dupree.
Oh, he's so awesome.
I love Dale Dupree. I think he is doing things the way.
I like Mike Mallon's revenue enhancement with AI.
Oh,
look at Mike coming out of nowhere.
I love Mike's profile picture, by the way. He looks so very like a soap opera or something. I love it. Like, these are the days of our lives.
Wait, does that mean he's married to his second cousin's third removed freaking sister-in-law that died of cancer 12 times and ended up in a plane crash on top of a mountain?
Yes.
Wait, I think I just got described one episode of Grey's Anatomy. Oh, look, the plane crashed in a tornado in the middle of an earthquake, and the whole city was already on fire.
I do love that, though, Mike. Thank you. I wrote it down. Revenue enhancement with AI. I like that.
No, that's awesome. Well, Ash, we took you through a whole bunch of stuff. This was a fun episode. I know you had reached out, and said you wanted to freaking talk about this whole presentation, everything, not too long ago. So
yeah,
that was awesome to do this. So what's your biggest takeaway from today? Congrats for not crying. I was really expecting tears from you. Like,
oh, I know.
Well, they're so mean. They're so rough.
Oh, my biggest takeaway is that I can go ahead with this AI and sales, AI and revenue, AI and enhancing your revenue growth situation, and not have to like pick anything smaller than that for a niche for right now. But I can just keep going with that. And I'm also the thing where how much do I want to make for the rest of the year and back it down to the 40, like reverse engineer the math so that I can figure out how I want to charge for this consulting stuff. Yeah, that.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. What are you going to do from here? What's the first thing you're going to do from here?
Very first thing I'm going to do when we get off the phone is the reverse math.
Cool. Second thing is reply to my DM that I sent you.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Nice.
Second thing will be that.
Awesome. Well, guys, let's talk about upcoming events and the likes. I don't know if you guys have anything. Jessica, I think you got one coming up, don't you?
Yeah, I have the Think Big series. It is the second Friday of the month next month. I don't have that in front of me, but we're going to do the 30 content ideas 1 hour again. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be anti-AI. So come join us and have some fun. Make your brain work.
It's what she just says. AI sucks, Ash. That's what I heard.
No, I use AI all the time. It's just sometimes I feel like it's a crutch.
Hey, Jessica and I set a rule that we are not allowed to use ChatGPT talking back and forth.
Oh, that's a good rule.
Yeah.
I don't use it so as much as I use the crap out of it, I don't use it all that much for my content, really.
Oh, I do.
I have it cleaned it up because
I use it to ideate sometimes. Like if I have something that I know I want to talk about and I can't figure out how to put it into a story or a post, I'll ask for some help with that. But I use it less and less for that every day and more for other stuff.
One of my next posts is going to be, if you're using AI comments, just stop. They are so fucking bad.
Oh my God.
I got one person that I used to do a ton of networking and stuff with, and every post is dropping the stuff that that she never talks like that.
It has to be automated, right?
I don't know. It's so bad.
Yeah.
No, it's so bad. So Bernie,
I use it to organize because I write like I think, and I think all over the place. And so pretty much I write my thoughts and I say, okay, organize this for me.
Yes.
Totally. No, we are not third cousins.
That's Ruth.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got no events of my own this week. I'm going to be sitting on a panel on Thursday though, called Death by Meetings.
Oh yeah,
nice, very cool. Only thing I got for right now is the Badass Business Summit. So September. Oh, actually, I'm going to be in New York. Peyton and I are flying up there May 19th. So we're doing I guess it's a LinkedIn local doing a panel and stuff. So May 19th be up there. And then I'm working on North Carolina potentially and Detroit potentially, Bernie.
All right.
So I'll keep you updated on that one. So but yeah, Badass Business Summit, September 17th through the 19th. Some really cool, exciting announcements fixing to come out with that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But guys, we do this every Monday, 8 a.m. Central, helping you kick your week off, help somebody else, putting them in the hot seat and doing a lot of fun. And hope to see you guys next week. Love you, mean it. See you, bye.